Design and Dementia podcast. I'm Dr. Joanna Sun, and today's episode is built around a single question. Does the way a dementia care facility is physically designed actually change outcomes for the people living there? A major meta-review says yes, and it tells us exactly what works. We're covering the 5 most evidence-supported design features, what the research says about each one, and what you can do with that information right now. So let's get into it. This was not a single study, it was a meta-review, which means the researchers led by Arnold Siegelaar and a team at the University of Groningen in Netherlands when looking for every existing systematic review on this topic. They searched 7 major databases and found 410 relevant reviews. They then filtered these down to 11 most rigorous, and those 11 reviews between them covered 250 individual studies. This is a significant body of evidence, and for the first time, it has been brought together in a single structured analysis that looks specifically at how architecture and environmental features of long-term care facilities impact quality of life and behavior and responses in people living with dementia. There are 5 areas I want to walk through because each one is practical and relevant to anyone who works in or designs spaces in aged care or dementia care. The first is lighting. This is one of the most robustly supported findings across the research. Higher light levels, particularly bright light therapy, in a range of 1,000 to 2,500 lux during the day, reduce agitation, reduce stress, reduce disruptive behaviors, and improve daytime wakefulness. Getting residents outside when natural light can reach 2,500 to 10,000 lux also improve mood and sleep quality. Lighting is not decorative, it is a clinical tool. The second thing, the size of the living unit matters enormously. Facilities with small groups of 5 to 15 residents consistently show lower rates of agitation and less cognitive deterioration over time compared to larger ward-style environments. The social density of a space, so that's how many people share it, shapes behavior. Smaller is better. That finding is consistent across many of the studies reviewed. The third one is home-like environments. When a care facility is designed to feel domestic rather than institutional, when there are familiar furnishings, domestic-scaled rooms, and personal objects, residents show less restlessness, less exit-seeking, and less wandering. The environment communicates something to the person living in it. When it communicates, this is a place where people live, residents respond accordingly. The fourth thing is outdoor and garden access. This came up repeatedly as genuinely valuable. Regular access to outdoor spaces improved mood, reduced the use of psychotropic medications, and improved sleep quality. These are not small effects, and garden access is one of the most cost-effective design decisions a facility can make. Fifth is the orientation. Environmental cues that help people living with dementia navigate, distinctive landmarks at corridor junctions, colors and textures variation on walls and floors, signage that use both images and text, support residents' sense of place, and reduce anxiety that comes with not knowing where you are. Corridor layout also matters, so clear wayfinding paths support orientation better than long featureless corridors. So here's a framing that I think matters most for people working in this space. Physical design is not an aesthetic choice, it is a care intervention. The brightness of a corridor, the size of a living unit, whether there is a garden that residents can access, whether the corridor looks the same at every junction, all of these are clinical decisions with measurable consequences for people living in these spaces. So the researchers are also honest about the limitations here. Most of the evidence sits at a moderate certainty level. We do not yet have the volume of high-quality controlled trials that we would want, but moderate certainty evidence across 250 studies is still a strong foundation for action. The features that matter are largely identified. The task now is to implement them, evaluate them, and build the higher quality evidence base over time. And the central design message that emerged from this review is balance. The biggest risk in dementia care design is getting the sensory level wrong in either direction. Too much stimulation is harmful, too little stimulation is also harmful. The goal is an environment that offers variation, spaces for quiet, spaces for activity, clear routes between them, and enough sensory information to keep a person orientated without overwhelming them. So if you work in a care facility or advise one, here are some 5 things worth acting on right now. You might want to check your daytime light levels. If they're above or they're below 1,000 lux in communal areas, it is a meaningful gap. Repositioning furniture towards windows, adding supplementary lighting, or piloting a structured bright light therapy program are all low-cost starting points. Walk the corridor as a resident would. Stop at every junction and ask, would I know where I am? If the answer is no, add a landmark, color contrast, a piece of art that's unique to that location. Review access to outdoor spaces. Is it genuinely accessible daily? Is it only available in the morning? When the light and mood benefits, when is the light and mood benefits the strongest? If not, it's worth looking at. So if you're involved in planning or renovation decisions, the evidence strongly favors smaller living clusters over large ward-like spaces. If subdivision is not currently possible, consider how to create domestic scale zones within a larger space and involve care staff. The people who observe residents day to day know which spaces can contribute to distress and which ones can bring calm. That knowledge is design intelligence, and it should be part of any built environmental review. And please remember, you can also co-design with care partners and people living with dementia. Get them involved, get their inputs, and they can tell you which spaces are best for them. Dementia-inclusive design is not a niche concern for architects. It is a shared responsibility across every discipline that touches a person's care, clinical, operational, and environmental. This review gives us the clearest picture yet of what the evidence is. The light matters, the size of the unit matters, the garden matters, the view down the corridor matters. Every one of these things is written within our power to change. So thanks for listening. And if this episode was useful, please share it with a colleague in aged care or design. The full blog post and the reference for the original research can be found on our website. Thank you.